over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
When you're high up, everyone can hear your voice. The palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni. Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
I have to keep an eye on the deployment of guards at all times.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as
All
well.
the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Welcome to Palais Mermoni.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Welcome to Palais Mermonia.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters. Huh. This place does...
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't...
See?
Yep. If you're here just to crack jokes...
No.
Oh, yes.
We're here today to report and archive some information.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course.
Well, all right then, I'll let you through. The Chief
Thank...
Please come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vache has been involved in any case, criminal or civil. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
Traveler, what if it was real?
Is that so? All right then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Nervier.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly...
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Nervillet? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life, if you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die, despised and hated by all? Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers to. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my... It's not so much that you can't... Oh, well. In any case, my apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Olivia, are you okay?
I'm fine. Rain.
You're right.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder...
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene? That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait. You don't mean...
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely... All right.
Yeah,
Do you want to go with me now? Great. Let's go then.
Whoa, what a huge ship! Why would a ship be anchored at a place like...
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Rosula's headquarters. My father was the one who asked for it to be built like this. Perhaps our taste in exterior design is the only thing we occasionally had in common. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and limitless future.
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused but now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself?
Well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
Let's ride!
Maloose, we're back!
Apologies for... You said before that you still had...
You still remember, right, Maloose? On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call impossible murders.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, at a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant hallucinations.
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial...
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, if you drink and if you were to as he oversaw...
Boss is uncompromised. Not only that,
Yes. Recognizing that the man's name was that night, but then we heard two...
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same...
Sounds just like looking back on it, though. Precisely. But, considering it now, you're right.
Jacques was an empath. I think that, on that note, however, our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely... Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path.
If that's indeed what he wished for, was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the end? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is... Did he think I'd just accept? I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since that day. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake.
Navia...
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable, and more importantly, Demoiselle, I think you're also ready to take this on.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, Demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctor and the serial 5 years knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his but as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to...
Right, so...
As we've seen, Boss's
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as...
So he chose to die?
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, Demoiselle. What Boss wanted to hand to you was not a parasol. If Boss's... I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. No. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now? Yeah. I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, if I had wanted, I could have... But thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Huh. Malus, what was the key
It's the locate when he was... But if you want...
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storming in?
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous... There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their headquarters. We also have no idea what kind of evidence we may... But a single... The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then...
Well, you saw...
Huh. That's true. Seems my father... But things are...
You sound like you've put a lot of thought into this, Malus.
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your...
Thank you for all of that, Malus.
Let me think. When I announced orders to the organization, if the vendors didn't change their plan, after several rounds of testing and investigative trace, the first is Florent, Spina de Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Flor...
Yes, surprising, isn't it? Thanks to his position, there's someone else like him too. Marcel.
Uncle Marcel.
It's a guild in Poisson. In the beginning, there were only
So, they're like a sister organization?
Yes, you can say that. When we were fighting against the synth dealers, it's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down...
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information. Although the guards since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could...
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry.
Of course. And thank you, Malus. You've provided us with a lot of great information.
You're too kind, my lady. And before I forget, proving bosses... After that incident, Jacques' wife and daughter were taken into the Spina's care. If it might help, you could also pay...
Aw, thank you so much,
A new case awaits, my dear partner. I hope we can work together to uncover the truth.
It is settled, then. Please excuse...
Thank you for arranging everything.
Excuse me, miss.
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry.
Ah, if it's a...
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you. Because I didn't know what I could... I know. Only the full truth could bring closure to you.
I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband,
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't...
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times he had many regrets, and felt so when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he accepted it almost immediately. He tried to be as careful as he could, but even so, he was still found out by the higher-ups.
They found out about his betrayal?
Papa didn't say that exactly, but Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us. I don't know that for sure, but you could say that's the conclusion I eventually came to. Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed away. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy? Papa always wanted to be a good man. So why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your papa was a good man, right?
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons. Regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's,
Your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
I'll leave my husband.
Thank you, Miss Spina. Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florence should be nearby, and we should be able to...
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about what happened at the Opera House? Someone got turned into water right in front of us.
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several weeks.
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with my father, it was raining outside, and we found some clothes left at the scene. After my partner here put the dots together for me, I feel like we should try to reopen his case. Can you do me a favor and try to recall what happened that night?
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash. But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over a dead body with a gun in his hands. All we could do was look.
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned, do you think there was a 3rd person there who was turned into water?
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a 3rd person on the scene.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying Mr. But hold on. If he didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor in a duel, did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malouse told me a thing or two. So, I think I can understand why he committed to the duel. I'll tell you everything, once the whole truth has been revealed.
I understand. Then, I'll leave Mr. Callis's honor in your hands, boss. And if I may just say many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callis, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callis's trust that allowed me to rise through the ranks of Spina di Rosula. No matter what others might say, he'll always be the man I respect the most.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
Intel is just like teachers. You gotta invest a lot before you can start it.
Hey, Thierry! It's me!
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss Navia?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
are you sure there isn't a...
I mean, where I work is really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callis did a fantastic... It would be next to impossible for... Anyway, enough chit-chat. Are these two friends of yours? You, here for some formal business?
Yes. These two are my partners. What happened at the Opera House made us realize that Linny's case and my father's may be related. We're trying to reinvestigate the details of my father's old case.
Ah, I get. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case, I can help you look for them.
That'd be much appreciated. Thank you. Actually...
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's case.
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by... So, if you hypothetically wanted to do something against me, all you would need to do...
If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it. If you try to make removing a serial number is all. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Hello. How may I help you? I'm here to see Marcel. Sure.
Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
Oh, it's all right, Uncle Marcel. There's no need to stress. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened at...
Yes, I've never seen anything so
Oh, you were at the Opera House too?
That's right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf.
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkards.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right?
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away.
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof, but I can sense that the other side has already begun to act.
Oh, and...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also... If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you right now.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit. Wasn't it you who protected us?
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven for you. If you're scared, if anyone dares to lay their hands on you there...
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. Do you have any new thoughts on my
about that. Sorry, my age is catching up with me, so it'll take me a while to recall my memory. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet, so I was out and about the whole time making sure things were running smoothly. I didn't even have the time to drink with the guests. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot, and the rest was history.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself. We'll ask around some more, see if there are any valuable clues elsewhere.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from
We've talked to all 3 suspects, purely based on their conversations with me.
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. If a anyway.
But where should we start? Ah, you're right!
According to Jacques... If I had to guess, he...
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
Oh? And why is that?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Huh. So, what would make more sense from his perspective? Besides Jacques, it's obvious.
Do you think...
Given everything that... But who among the 3 suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex? Florent? But...
So you're saying he...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, I don't think he would be able to Uncle Marcel? And with funds from... Still really... Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of mora and energy to fight him? Thierry, you say? But... I didn't feel like he was lying.
Yeah. Had he actually tampered with the mecha? If the mecha were...
Who could it be? You know, if you think everything through, Uncle Marcel is indeed the most suspicious of them all.
Could we be missing other suspects?
Malus has always been very reliable. The suspect is not... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
Yes, Malus did say that charging straight in there would be extremely risky. But we don't have any other options, right? We need far more...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you...
Yeah.
Wasn't that place...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called Tartaglia.
What?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well...
Wait, how? None of our...
That's what I thought. If the charge against him...
Right. Because they'll...
Yeah.
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is a You're right. This is... I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you to make it back in time and
We'll help you, just like you helped us in Lenny's trial.
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver. When did you 2 get here?
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require our assistance. It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the 2 of us by your side.
Thank you so much. Then, let's make haste for Arrhenius. Paimon, Traveler, I'll see you at the Opera House.
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Arrhenius, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. According to Melusa's info, the synth production base is underwater. Let's go and try to find the entrance. entrance that leads to the Sin. Your Navia's prop.
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial...
To be perfectly however, in which case, as long as I accept the charge, I've got to admit, when I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding...
Hey! Don't you understand? You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man.
Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings, but that was an
Oh, please. We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default, correct?
Oh, a young So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss
That person... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières!
Huh? What?
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind... And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also...
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Not members of the guard. Mr. Marcel.
I think an attorney won't...
Very well. In that case...
I would like to take it only through a loop...
Navia, come on. If that's enough to make...
exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case before I can explain my charge and reasoning.
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside. During the banquet, all attending guests, when the guests arrived at the scene, the guard's investigation did not. The suspect did not dispute. Callus was defeated by Chen. These are the known
The one with the motive to kill was shot. After that... However, we should revisit... The testimony... This assassin... A pile of... But since it... Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're...
What a great theory.
Mr. Marcel.
But I...
Then, may I ask one?
Boo! I may not have the. We should be able to. Considering the.
That makes sense to me.
Why do I feel?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself.
Alternatively,
My second question has to do with the Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had
I've thought about this. The dissolving power of my father could have exposed at that time what was certain.
boss once told.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have. Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right. But what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house but by staying, I was able to. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge,
So,
that's right.
do you have any...
Of course. All you need. I don't need your but since he entrusts.
So, during the duel, did you believe that...
As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken account in my line of work. Just one look, I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never...
Since that's your testimony...
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between...
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about this?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases, in my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both, and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized that the culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already coincidentally.
So that's why I'm used to it.
No need to...
I won't try to... On top of that, does a person have to be physically...
Know what she can say to that.
I know that even... Alas, who won't feel at least a little... But if I were to dismiss this completely, do you know what...
I suppose you're...
It's time. I'm a businessman in addition, but the...
I do apologize.
No, it's not...
Is there anything... You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friend, could those records and testimonies do something to appease...
Seems like she...
At this rate...
I think you've done us, but aren't you going... He wished for you to be... Once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings, and to stop rushing headlong into...
This isn't just about me. And the biggest difference between me and the rest of the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images, and whose... Is it a man named Vache?
Huh.
Oh.
I
was waiting for you to say that. Need a surfboard? Need a surfboard? Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place. Paimon thinks we need to go up, but Paimon doesn't see a way. Let's take a look around. Maybe we'll find a hidden mechanism that'll show us the way up.
water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Illusion shattered!
Going in!
Torn to oblivion!
Check this out. Best of luck. Let's ride.
Shine down! Ha! Illusion shattered! Ha!
Let's light it up! Adventure time!
Let's shred, Stripey.
Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down! Ha!
Gotta dash.
Ha! There is no escape!
Bye. Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Shine down!
Everybody stand back! Yeah, why do they never miss?
Gotta dash.
Let's light it up!
Carving waves.
Illusion shattered! Absurd! Ha!
Bye. Ninjutsu.
There is no escape! Oh. Now you shall perish!
Check this out. Best of luck.
Teamwork is dreamwork! Huh?
Illusion shattered!
Gotta dash. Yeah, almost dodged that.
Let's light it up!
Shine down!
After all that, we finally made it to the innermost sanctum. Though, as expected, what's all this? Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box. Oh, Paimon sees it too, but why are all these cute things This is where they make all the synth! And that special water is the... If you dilute it, Paimon will take... Let's see what's written here. Nothing escapes Detective Paimon's eyes. Callus. Navia's father. Oh, this seems to be an investigation report on him. Yep, it's about finding someone. This should prove the existence of the third person, right? We still have not determined the old dog's a real menace to deal with. He can act... I concur. Let's send some... Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups. What's this over here? Looks like some experiment numbers. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Sorry, traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just that... How can someone write something that terrible? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going. So that's what... Did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving people over and over? That's just insane! Huh? Isn't that the name you heard by the fountain? Paimon thought he was an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... So that's it? No, that's not it either! If that's the case, why would he want people to resurface from the water? In any case... Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea. Mixing in... Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored synth? Yep, it's super obvious. We've looked at almost everything here. Yeah, we haven't found anything that reveals his true identity. No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. That way, even if we bring all this back to the sure thing. You take that side and Paimon will take this side. Check everything carefully. We'll find something for sure. Nothing at all. And Paimon can't even find snacks either. Whoa, really? Let Paimon see. Vinier. Isn't that Vache's lover's name? Then you found her diary. Aw. It's just... so many. The final name Marcel. Wait, but...
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named... Oh, so you do know that name. I was...
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner.
Just how...
It's all right, Monsieur Neuvillette. Given their confidence...
But the truth of it, Marcel.
Huh?
We've investigated after your... You even created...
So that's it. And with that...
This information... Well, you fixated your gaze on the... So...
You also never
Or are determined...
You're determined.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you...
Do you think? Pay attention to you. What for? Have you ever... No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Vignère's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice. Your beloved Vignère is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes, I will follow. But I'm not from this blasted place, so I can't.
Hey, is that water from the primordial sea that he's drinking?
I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go! I can't follow! So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have? I did all of that. And in the end, I spent my entire life living on pins and needles! Oh.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress. Guards, please restrain him.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignère. I promise. We made a promise. Vignère. Vignère. Please, Vignère. Don't think badly of me.
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction, the charge is...
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that...
Traveler, please The man now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignère. During an underwater expedition, Vignère accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research, with the goal of to cover his tracks. He invented the new alias of Marcel, and began to... During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria, and began to manufacture and market. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rosula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rosula for many years, Vacher decided to... Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callis into the murder suspect. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against... According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
Good. It's what he deserves.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history.
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's finally getting what he deserves! Huh? Are you okay?
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come.
Yeah. Yeah. It's... See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy ending. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way, I've still got some business to attend to. So, if you'll
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now? None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be made regarding the initial charge before the trial can conclude.
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, it has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has no direct connection to the serial disappearances case. The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent of the charges. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal, Mr. Guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different—
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted—
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter—
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal is, by law, the final verdict of the court. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per court protocol.
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke. You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
He's activating his spell legacy!
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Hey, Monsieur Neuvillette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, all I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
Why are you looking at me? I don't know what happened there either. Hey!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided by the Oratrice's result.
But the way she looked just now, it was pretty
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, and of course, if you thought Child had nothing to do with this, everything he's done, not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary comprehension and all shall be revealed in time. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in suspense, it is now time for this performance to
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put much stock into what she just said?
She probably just... However, please...
All right. After all... Let's ride!
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you doing over...
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to the list.
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
Thank you. Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been convicted.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met the Fountain of Lucine? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please.
What?
This request...
Of course!
Humans. Very well. I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I fear that...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that...
Thank you.
Make my escape. I'm out of here!
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Let's ride! Need a surfboard? Need a surfboard? Need a surfboard? And away I go! Make my escape. Make my escape.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Carving waves! Can't catch me!
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
There is no escape!
Off we go. Need a surfboard? Need a surfboard? Need a surfboard? Off we go. Off we go. Fast! Woo! Whoa! Whoa!
Off we go.
Seems like Genshin is here.
Ever tried chasing waves before? You want to try? Well, come on, no time like the present. I'll help you find the closest beach. Woo! I wonder where humans come from.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
I prefer magic, personally. I prefer magic, personally.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
The most important part of going out to have fun is, well,
shall perish. Illusion. Illusion shattered! Shine down!
Come on now! Gotta dash!
Let's light it up! Illusion shattered!
Sorry!
Adventure time! Off we go!